Hey everyone, it's Ethan here from Extreme RC 4x4, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how we can get hydraulic style blade control. And what I mean by this is when I move the joystick here in neutral right here, it just stays where it is, and then if I pull it up, it'll stay in the position where I let it. So simply the controller is just moving it. It's not positional anymore, where like normally this would be, the blade would rest here, but the blade will rest straight up if we leave it there. So it's more or less like how real hydraulics are, where they don't go back to the center position if you let them. So as you can see, we can leave it down. If we're pushing too much snow here, we can just go ahead and pull it up a little bit or adjust it. So it just makes plowing a whole lot more enjoyable for me, and it might help some of you guys out. I thought I would share it with you. So I have a different servo in here because I chewed up some of the teeth on this stock servo. So we're going to go ahead and show you guys how to do it on this servo. I've already done it to the servo inside, but since this is the stock one, I figured it would help more people out. So we're just going to take the 4 screws out of the bottom of this so that we can take it apart. I've already been in here earlier, so make sure you don't lose these O-rings that are right on here. You don't want to lose those. And you want to do this with the truck plugged in and the servo plugged into the truck so that you have power to it, and I'll show you why when we get into it. So we can go ahead and pull the top cover off first, and we're just going to pull the gear sets off. This middle one first we can take off and set aside, and then we can take this one off, and then this big gear is the one we really want to get at. And I had to pry this off before. See, we've pushed it and now this gear's spinning. So there's a mechanism in here that tells the servo what position you're at, and that device in there is what keeps your servo to go back to center, or that's what makes the servo keep centering itself. I'm not really sure exactly how to word it, but it's this little piece right here, and as we turn it, it'll either speed up this gear or slow it down. And we're going to try to take this out so that it doesn't run on that gear. Alright, so this little guy is what tells the receiver or the circuit board in here what position the servo's at. So it's always going to be working to center itself as long as the radio isn't in the position that you're putting it in. So there's kind of a center on here where everything stays still, and that's what we want to get. But if you pull this stuff aside in here, you can see that there is a little tiny screw holding this thing in this top corner right there. So what we're going to do is take that screw out, and then set it aside, and then we're going to try to get this out. The first time I was in here, I had to push it on the table to get it out. So just, and then once we got it started, we can take a screwdriver and push on it to get it out. all the way. So you might have to push it a little harder to get it out, but I already broke the glue free. There is some glue in there that you're gonna have to fight through, but that screw also holds it in there. So if you ever want to put this back, you can just put it back in and reattach the screw, and you should be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put the screw back in there for safekeeping in case I ever decide to put it back to factory. And then now that we've found the dead spot, this isn't moving at all, we're just gonna try to put this in here and not have it engage up here, because this gear that it rides in, if you can see right there, that part actually rides inside of it. This is called the potentiometer, if I haven't mentioned it already. And a lot of people will drill this out to a big circle so that this potentiometer won't engage with it, and they also super glue it into the position, but I just left it like this because you never know when you might want to go back to it. And we're just going to try to push everything back inside of here. And it started moving a little bit, so just adjust that ever so slightly. So just adjust it till it doesn't move at all. So it is below this plastic piece up here, so that gear won't interfere with it. And you could even put some grease in there that'll help hold it, or help it stay in that neutral position. So now we can go ahead and put the gears back on. We got this big gear here, pops back into place. Let's see, this gear goes over here, and then this middle one goes right back into place. Now I won't be using this servo because I have stripped some of the teeth out of it, but what you can do is grease these gears inside of here and around the edges of both caps just a slight bit to help keep the water out, since this is going to be run in the snow. And then we can put our screws back in. So if this is moving at all or vibrating like mine seems to be, all we have to do is adjust the trim for the channel it's on. It's the wrong channel. So just adjust it till it stops moving. So you're still going to have the stops, so it's not going to be continuous rotation like a servo winch would be. We left those parts in there, but what it does allow you to do is operate it, and it will stay wherever you leave it. So it will not return to center unless you make it return to center. But I thought this would help any of you serious snowplow guys out. It really makes it a lot more enjoyable for me to snowplow with this blizzard, with this setup, just because you're not fighting the machine itself. So again, oh, I gotta trim that. So this did give me a little bit more travel on the blade, and it's also nice, you can leave the blade all the way up when you're just driving, put it down for when you want to work, and when you are working you can just give it a little touch to adjust it. And for those of you that don't know, these little knobs right here on the Kyosho with the little spikes on them, for your gloves. They do come off, and you can flip them upside down so that they're not biting into your fingertips when you are running it without gloves. So yeah, if you're really serious about this, you can go ahead and super glue that potentiometer into its neutral position. But I like to leave it like that because I can always go back to it being a steering servo if I needed it to. And yeah, so anyways guys, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if this helped you out, if you're going to do this modification yourself. But thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.